If you would like to achieve success, if you like to change your life, and if you're looking for the type of crash course for phenomenal success, this video is for you. The first thing I'd like to say, success is simply the game of clarity. Once you understand that, things are simply going to be easier. The difference, as a matter of fact, between those who ultimately make it and reach the mountaintops and those who remain at the foot of the mountain is very simple. Yes, of course, some people may have simply been helped. They receive a parachute and they find themselves on the mountaintop. But I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the greater number of people who went from the foot of the mountain all the way to the top. And when it comes to the difference between those people and those at the bottom, it's very simple. It's simply clarity. They say to themselves, I know what I want and I'm going to focus on it no matter what. If there's a way that I need to find as far as how to get to the top, I'm going to find it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to figure it out. Whether someone's going to be there to help me or not, I'm going to find a way to get to the mountaintop. On the other end, those at the foot of the mountain, they will simply say, no, unless you tell me specifically how to get to the mountaintop, I'm simply going to remain here. And they have a sense of confusion as to what exactly they want. It's almost as if they're looking for someone to tell them exactly what kind of vision they need to have as far as life is concerned. And as a result, they spend their lives working for other people who tell them exactly what to do on a daily basis, when to wake up, when to show up for work, and when they can take vacation as far as their life is concerned. And that's the major difference. Now, when it comes to the steps that one can consider as far as how to make it in life, I will simply say there are 6 steps that you have to consider. The first key step is, as a matter of fact, I'm sure you must have guessed it by now, it's about clarity. You have to know exactly what you want, because success is a game of clarity. You have to have a very clean picture in your mind as to where exactly you want to go. Because once the picture in your mind is clear, and once the why is clear, my friend, no matter what, you will find a way to get and to reach the mountaintop. Number 2, you need to have a different mindset. And what do you mean by mindset? Clarity or your goal is basically the destination that your mind needs, because as a matter of fact, your mind works like a GPS. Your mind needs to have a very specific input as to where exactly you want to go. And your job is to want to give this assignment to the mind. The job of the mind or the GPS is now to give you an output, which is simply to lead you or to bring you to where you want to go. That's the first step. The second step is the mindset. If you want to achieve a different result, you have to stop thinking like the masses. That's very key. If you want to achieve a different result, you have to stop thinking like the people at the foot of the mountain. Because the people at the foot of the mountain are, number 1, they need for someone to tell them exactly what to do. That's the reason why most of them simply spend their lives working for somebody else, because they cannot reach a place where they can figure out for themselves what they want. That's number 1. Number 2, they also need for someone to tell them on a daily basis how to behave. And because someone's always telling them how to behave, so basically they stop taking risk. They stop taking any chances as to where they want to go, as to how they can get there. And they spend their life working for somebody else. And guess what? By retirement age, most of them have nothing to show for all these years of hard work. So if you want to reach to a place where you are now part of the elite, you have to change your mindset. You have to come to a place where you simply realize that it is your responsibility. You are responsible for the type of action and traction that you can have as far as your life is concerned. And that's absolutely key. But not just action, because when it comes to action, most people at the foot of the mountain, as a matter of fact, they work hard. They work extremely hard. But unfortunately, that's all they know. They only know how to work hard. But they don't understand that in order for you to reach the mountaintop, you have to not just work hard, but you have to work smart. You have to come to a place where you simply say to yourself, I'm going to tell my mind, my GPS, exactly where I want to go. I'm going to work hard when it comes to how to get there, but I'm also going to trust this GPS to redirect me from time to time when it comes to how much effort I need to put on a daily basis when it comes to the steps I'm taking toward my particular project. I'm not just going to work mindlessly on a daily basis and putting 20, 16, 12 hours on the same task that aren't yielding any type of concrete result. From time to time, if and when my mind said to me, yes, you need to reduce the hours so you can actually spend time with yourself and try to focus on different things. Because as you focus on different things, the subconscious will then step in and simply say, yes, as far as this particular project you left on the table, this is now the thing that you have to do. And this is absolutely crucial. Don't just work hard, but work smart. Know when to actually increase the amount of time you're spending on work, and also when to decrease, and listen to your mind when it comes to any next step you can take. And this is absolutely crucial because your mind understands you want to go from point A to point B, and from point A to point B there could be some traffic jam, there could be some need to redirect you, and you simply have to trust the mind that yes, as I'm going from point A to point B, I'm going to be redirected, and I'm going to simply have to slow down or something, increase my speed enough for me to reach my destination safely. And which leads me now to a very particular key point when it comes to your mindset. You have to shift from scarcity, poor me mindset, to abundance. Oh my goodness, look at me, I am favored. You have to shift from seeing yourself as a victim. Basically, life is happening to me. I don't know what's happening. I put in the address in the GPS. It's supposed to take me from point A to point B, but look at me now, I'm stuck in traffic and I don't know when I'm going to ultimately reach my destination. You have to shift from that mindset and get to a place where you say to yourself, my goodness, I trust that things are working for my highest good. As a matter of fact, I am favored. So no matter what, even this seeming delay is working out for my highest good. And that's how and where you have to shift your mindset in order to reach your destination safely. And why it is particularly important? Because when it comes to the mindset, there's one key thing that I also would like to stress is positive entitlement. Not entitlement like the world would like to teach you, but entitlement of simply knowing that yes, my name is on the deeds of this particular place. My name is on the title of this particular land. My name is on the title of this particular territory. And because I'm here, so basically I have the right to expect things to go my way. And this is positive entitlement. And why it is particularly important? Because now you're going to go to step number 3, which simply a place where you're going to say to yourself, my goodness, I'm carrying a special purpose. People around me may have put the same direction in the GPS, but I know one key thing. I am God's favorite child. I have this sense of positive entitlement, and therefore I'm carrying a special purpose. My mission, or the mission I have to accomplish as far as my life is concerned, is too special for me to be basically at a place where I'm going to be stuck. It's way too special for me to remain at the foot of the mountain. I have to find a way to get to the top of the mountain. I have to find a way to get there because this is where I belong. That's where I can go to spread my message to the masses. So I have to get to the top of the mountain. I'm going to find a way. Special purpose. Let me just tell you a beautiful example of someone who believed in the specialness of who they were, in the specialness of the purpose, and how it yielded some tremendous result. September 5th, 1638, somewhere in Paris, France, a couple, the royal couple in France, the father Louis XIII and the mother, the Queen Anne of Austria, finally welcome a child. I say finally. Why am I saying finally? Because they had been married when she was only about 14 years old, as it was customary back in the days. And by the time she reached 36, 37, they had been married for close to 22 years. And most people her age back in the days, they were already grandparents. They were already grandmas. So she was still childless. So it was completely crazy because all the people closest to the king were saying to the king, but my goodness, according to the laws of this land, the Salic laws, you have the right to simply send her away. You have the right to divorce her. And if the Pope is going to agree with you, so you can receive a special exemption to divorce her. So why don't you consider sending away, because you're going to die without a child, without any next in line, and this is going to be a tragedy as far as the monarchy is concerned. But the king, Louis XIII, was taking his time. He was not rushing the matters. Until eventually in 1637, she got pregnant again. And this time, it lasted 9 months until the day when she finally delivered. And as she delivered, everyone was absolutely elated as far as this good news was concerned, because it was a boy and they were looking for a boy. And here's now where things are going to get extremely interesting. As the boy is born, they decide to call the son Deodatus in Latin, which simply means God-given in English. In French, Dieu donné. So that was the name they gave the child. As the child is born, until his father passed away about 4 or 5 years later, the child every single day is called Deodatus, God-given, Dieu donné. So on a daily basis, he's reminded of how special he was, not just because his mother and father had waited 22 years for him to be conceived and born, but also because that sense that he was carrying something special. It was going to become special. At 4 years old, his father passed away. Louis XIII passed away. So the one to take over was now Louis XIV. He had not to be called officially. But he could not take over right away because he was still too young. So they assigned the prime minister. They assigned a prime minister to him in the person of the Cardinal Mazarin, to look after the executive matters of the state. And his mother was now to be as the person acting in his stead. So for the next few years, until he turned 21, every single day as he goes to see his mother, she will simply refer to him as King Louis XIV, also as Dieu donné, God-given. As he will go now to do business with the Prime Minister, Cardinal Mazarin, Mazarin will also refer to him as King Louis XIV or Deodatus, God-given, Dieu donné. So he was reminded on a daily basis of how special he was. By the time Mazarin passed away, the son simply said to himself, that's it. I've heard enough as far as the specialness of my purpose is concerned. I'm no longer going to need a prime minister. I'm going to take over. All the nobles within the court and within the kingdom simply totally lost his mind, because they said, but look at this young man. He barely has experience when it comes to matters of the states, but he wants to be the one in charge of his country without any prime minister. This is complete nonsense. He's not going to do well. But guess what? By the time he passed away, he has been, and he retained to this day, the record as the longest serving monarch in the history of monarchy around the world. Why? Because he came to a place where he embraced his specialness, and his specialness now became the destination that he put in the GPS of his mind. And the GPS of his mind now started telling him exactly how to behave on a daily basis to direct him from one point to the next, and always finding himself where the sense of positive entitlement was helping him find the right solution. Now that was number 3. Number 4. As he was now carrying himself with this sense of specialness, there was now a sense of rebranding, and that's the rebranding process I would like to talk about. As you start knowing exactly what you want, you start focusing on exactly what you want, you start focusing on your mindset, and you start embracing the specialness of your purpose, you're going to come to a place where you're going to slowly but surely start rebranding yourself. The mind will simply tell you, now it's time to start acting differently. And how you start changing your behavior, what's going to happen is 3 key things, or 3 main benefits of actually positive entitlement, of the sense of positive delusion. Why? Because you're going to come to a place where you're going to be seen differently. Not because of what you're carrying on the outside, but because of what you're carrying on the inside. Some may simply say, oh my goodness, I can see this person is always dressed in a very flamboyant manner. But it's far beyond that. It's something far beyond what you're carrying on the outside. You're going to be seen differently as you embrace your sexual specialness. You're going to be seen differently as you know exactly what you want. You're going to be seen differently how your mindset is changed from working hard like everybody else to working smart. From working hard like everybody else to see that you are special, that you have a sense of positive entitlement. And not only that, from having a sense of abundance in everything that you do and saying no to a sense of victimhood. What's going to happen? You're going to be seen differently. Number one. Number two, you're going to exuding a different type of fragrance. The fragrance of your brand is going to cause people to smell you before they see you. That's number two. Number three, people are going to hear about you like this phenomenal king by the name of Solomon. It became so amazing, so magnificent in his time that people could actually hear him from a distance. His wisdom basically had gone far beyond the borders of the kingdom and gone to places where people had never seen him. So they could smell that there was something special coming from where he was, and they could hear stories of his absolutely fantastic wisdom. And that's why they started now traveling from all the different places to just come see what he had to offer as a consultant for all the affairs concerning their own particular kingdoms or their own particular countries. Why? Because they can smell that someone is rebranding himself to at the highest level, and they need to come see him so he could have them also reach the mountaintop like he had so phenomenally done. As this young man, Louis XIV, took over the country and said he was going to be the only one to preside over the affairs of the country, people thought he was crazy, especially the nobles, because they could not see how a young man of his age could actually take the country to the mountaintop. But this is something he learned basically on the go. Because when he started renovating the palace, people thought that it was simply not well. Because why would you spend so much money in renovating the palace where we know that it's not going to go anywhere? But in his mind, he says, all these nobles, they are known for always wanting to topple the king. So I understand that the only way for me to keep an eye on them is to bring them close to me. So I'm going to renovate this palace and make it the most magnificent palace, and I'm going to create a space in this palace where we're all going to be living together. My bedroom will be at the very center of this particular place. That's number one. Number two, all the living quarters will be basically all around me. Why? Because I want for all of them to know that I am the Sun King, or basically I am the state, so they have to look up to me. That's number one. Number two, it says, I'm not just going to stop there. I'm going to create a ritual whereby every single day in the morning, they all have to come to my quarters. They have to come to my bedroom to say good morning to me, to simply remind them that I am the one in charge. And guess what? Slowly but surely, this action, this daily assessment, and the enlightenment, and the repeat came to a place where he simply realized that yes, my goodness, I have to fine-tune a few things as far as what I need to do on a daily basis, but I have to repeat it because I can see that all these nobles that used to be so belligerent towards my father are now basically coming to me, and they know that I am the one who has basically the last word as far as this kingdom is concerned. And this is particularly key. Why am I saying it? Because living a sense of a positive delusion can yield some amazing benefit. Not only people will start looking at you differently, they're going to hear you differently, and they're going to also start smelling something completely different as far as who you are is concerned. And as far as number 6 is concerned, it's simply going to be something I'm going to sum up in affirmation. Here's what you can say to yourself. I choose to believe that I am the chosen one. I choose to believe that my name is on the title of this land. I choose to believe that my name is on the title of this particular territory. Therefore, I have every right to expect nothing but the best as far as what I want. I have every right to expect that every single obstacle I'm going to face is simply a redirection that going to take me to a better route. A redirection to simply manifest the magnitude of what I'm carrying as specialness. My purpose is way too big to stop where I am. My purpose must be carried to the top because that's the best place I can now evangelize and let the whole world know about the mission I was carrying, that I was actually born to carry. And because I'm the only one and trusting this particular mission, I cannot fail. I am going to find a way. I'm going to figure out a way, and I'm going to manifest something that the world has never seen before me. I am here to shine, and I'm simply unstoppable. That was the last step. Here's now what I would like to share with you. What qualifies me to talk to you? What gives me the right to believe that what I'm saying makes perfect sense? Let me share a story with you. Once upon a time, there was a gentleman who had a daughter. And as the daughter was actually born, within the first few years of this young girl's life, the parents started recognizing something was not right. They went to seek medical advice. And the doctor simply said to them, yeah, what you think is right. And as a matter of fact, if you don't do exactly what I'm asking you to do, I foresee that there's going to be a less than glamorous future for this young girl, number one. I can tell you that this young girl will have difficulties when it comes to learning in school, and it's not going to amount to much unless you decide to listen to what I'm asking you to do. The father simply says, I heard you. I'm going to go home and think about it. And the father went back and says, I listened to what you had to say, and I was able to see the assessment that you did as far as my daughter's situation is concerned. But I'm still going to go against your advice. I'm not going to follow through. And the doctor said, if that's the case, you have to sign a document saying that yes, I offer you a particular route and you refuse it, and I'm going to simply put that in the file saying that yes, the father refused to listen to me as a doctor. And to compound matters, as his young daughter goes to school, the teacher at one point calls the father into a meeting and simply says, we don't know what's happening, but we have grave concerns as far as this young particular girl is concerned. We can see that she's not going to be the type of material that any university will want to accept. So in other words, your daughter is not going anywhere. And she has so far demonstrated that she doesn't have what it takes to go to the next level. The father has to listen to that and say, thank you very much for the feedback. Even when the feedback was being delivered with the daughter right in the room, say, thank you very much for the feedback. I'll take over from here. And to compound matters, I mean, as if it was basically one issue after the other. A few years after that, the daughter goes to school and one day comes home and simply says, Dad, I went to school. I wanted to play with the boys. And at one point, the teacher called me up and simply says, you can't be playing with them because you are not at their level. As a matter of fact, you are a girl. You have to stick to what girls can do. So please go play something else. The daughter comes home and tells the father the story. And the father simply says, I hear you. And as a matter of fact, your teacher is right. Indeed, you have to focus on something else. You have to focus on something better as opposed to athletics, because there's a special purpose that you are carrying deep within you, and there's nothing to do with athletics. So your teacher was right, so we're going to focus on that. And guess what? From that point, every single night when the girl will go to bed, just like shortly after the girl will fall asleep, the father will get into the room and simply speak over the mind and the brain of the young girl. To simply tell the mind, yes, as a GPS, you have an assignment. This girl is carrying special purpose. This girl has to go to the mountaintop, and their assignment is to make sure that she gets there. We're not going to overwork her when it comes to the amount of work she needs to put in, but we're simply going to remind you that yes, you have to take her from this place all the way to the mountaintop. And guess what? Change didn't happen right away, overnight. But change did happen because one day the daughter is working for the father, and at one point the dad was simply saying, no, this is too big for you, you can't do that. The young girl turns to the father and simply says, yes, just because I'm small does not mean I can do big things. And the dad looked at her completely shocked. What did you say? Yes, Daddy, I said just because I'm small does not mean I can do big things. And guess what? Out of all the people, all the students we've studied with her at the beginning of years in school, she was the only one who graduated a year early. The only one. And also, not only that, also went on to be accepted by the very university that she spotted when she was barely 8 years old, and says, Daddy, this is exactly where I'm going to go. The best university in town, and this is exactly where I'm going to go. And guess what? Just like that, the university simply say, yes, we'll receive your application, and yes, we're going to accept your application. You're going to become our student, just like that. Why am I telling this story? Because that father happens to be me. I know how the mind works. I know that the mind is a GPS, simply asking you on a daily basis, please be clear. Tell me exactly where you want to go. Once you tell me exactly where you want to go, my job is to deliver. Your job is just to work hard, but don't too hard. Work smart and relax. Trust me. I'm going from time to time redirect you. I'm going from time to help you assess everything you're doing. I'm going from time to get you to a place of eureka, enlightenment. I'm going to cause you to repeat the same thing that's already working, but I'm going to take you there. But all I'm asking you to do is to give me clarity. Tell me exactly what you want to do, and I'm going to help you reach there. This is now a bonus. There was a book that was written a few years ago called Deviate. And in this book, Deviate, the author talks about something key. He says that our perception are colored by the different stimuli that we are bombarded with on a daily basis. The different things that come our way and cause us to believe in a particular way. So to some extent, we are all delusional because we believe sometimes in things that are not true. But simply because someone comes and says, you are not going to make it. He's a doctor. Say, yes, I'm not going to make it. You go to school, the teacher says to you, you are not going to make it. Also, yeah, my goodness, the doctor and now the teacher, so definitely I'm not going to make it. So, oh my goodness, I'm not going to make it. And these stimuli are external stimuli. But once you believe in them, you're going to come to a place of delusion because you are believing now things that are come from the outside. And unless and until you come to a place where you also realize that your own thoughts and feelings can also act as stimuli and also reach the same place of delusion as far as your mind is concerned, then your life is going to remain exactly the same. Because what happened in the case of this particular story I shared with you, my own personal story, I was able now to instill or to inject something in the brain of my daughter to simply let her know that yes, my goodness, how about we start focusing on a different stimulus? How about we start focusing on different stimuli? How about we put in your brain a different thought to simply say, yes, you are different. You were born for something much bigger, much better than what the school is trying to give you. How about you see yourself as the carrier of something extra special and see where this positive delusion is going to take you? Guess where we are right now. Last but not least, here's another story I'm going to leave with you. It's from this book called Self-Intelligence. In this book, the author talks about a particular study that was actually carried by an American university. And this study revealed that 90% of drivers in North America, or specifically in America, believe that they are above average drivers. They believe that they have this superiority when it comes to the driving skills, that nobody drives like them. That's about 90%. And when you go to university, 94% of university professors believe that they are the best of the best, la crème de la crème, even though some students will beg to disagree. But it is what it is. Delusion is all over the place. But the same study also goes on to say that delusion can be a good thing. Because when you start seeing that, yes, I was born for the mountaintop as opposed to the foot of the mountain, and you believe with all your heart that, yes, this is now where I'm supposed to go, and you start putting all your effort into making it to the top, your effort will now have a different baseline because you say to yourself, I'm elite. It will now cause you to behave like an elite. As opposed to saying to yourself, basically, that's not my normal. My normal is where I am right now. I'm not even going to try. And this lack of delusion is causing many people to live basically where they're not supposed to be. And this is exactly where I'm going to stop. This video was specifically recorded for one particular individual. One of my nieces, her name is Emilia. This video is for you. I want you to believe from now on that you have every right to be delusional. Because your delusion is precisely what's going to cause you to make history like King Louis XIV. Know what you want. Operate by different mindset. Tell your brain that, yes, I'm not going to work just hard, but I'm going to work smart. Tell your brain that I am God's favorite child. Tell your brain that I'm living from a place of abundance, as opposed to a place of lack or scarcity. And go on, my friend, to believe in the specialness of the purpose you're carrying. To rebrand yourself to a point where people start seeing you differently, start hearing it differently, and start smelling something completely different about you. Go on, my friend, to a place where you're going to start now taking different action, assessing yourself differently, coming to a place of enlightenment and repeating everything that you are doing. Go on to a place where you're going to start using affirmation to simply say to yourself and declare to the whole world, I choose to believe that I'm the chosen one. My name is on the title of this land. I know what I want. I'm willing to work hard, not just hard. And I'm here to shine, and I'm going to be unstoppable. All right? Much love to you. Much love, everyone. The best is yet to come. But in order for the best to be manifested, you and I have to simply remain intentional. Positive delusion works. All right? Take good care. I'm out.